All right, let's go ahead and tackle this question, everybody. So this one is a percentage word problem, and we're going to be using the formula for percentage word problems all the way through here. So first thing, before we jump the gun, we want to understand what we're trying to achieve here. So keep it calm, cool, collected. No math yet. If the sales tax rate is 10%, again, that's just extra information. I don't know if that's important yet or not, but sales tax rate's given to me. But my goal is, what is the amount of sales tax? All right, everybody, let's go ahead and make this very, very clear. Very, very clear. Are we looking for the final price, or are we looking for just the amount of the sales tax? Y'all tell me. What are we looking for? Yeah, we're just looking for the tax, everybody. This is one of the biggest things about problems like this. We have got to understand what it is that we're trying to achieve. And here, it's just the amount of the sales tax. And here's the cool thing about percentages. The formula is really consistent. The percent multiplied by the original value, that's going to equal your result. That's your formula. But knowing the main idea is really what's going to help you out. And that's going to be that the percent and the result represent the same idea. So here's what this means, everybody. If I plug in a 10% that represents tax, I am going to get a result that represents the tax. Just not as a percentage, it's going to be the actual dollar amount of the tax. That's the crazy cool thing about this formula. The percent and the result represent the same thing in the formula. So if you plug in the percentage of potatoes on the farm, the result's going to be the amount of potatoes on the farm. If you plug in the percentage of the number of times that I've cried studying at night, you're going to get the number of nights that I have spent crying while studying. My party people, jokes aside, yes or no, does that make sense to you? The percent and the result, they're consistent, and you can take advantage of that when setting up your percentage formulas. Trey, if you're saying, which is 50% of the nights that you spend crying studying, me too, brother. So with that, let's go ahead and solve this up here, because we're plugging in 10%, which represents the tax. The original amount of this basketball that we're discussing is $330. And when we perform this math, boom, that'll give us the amount. So with that, here we go. First things first, everybody, whenever we're using a percentage inside of a percentage equation, the first thing we need to do is turn that into a decimal. So remember how to do that. Take the decimal, move it twice to the left. So that can be 0.10, or you don't need to write that ending 0. It's the same thing as saying 0.1. So either way is okay. I prefer it like this because it's just simpler to write out. And then from here, we have 330. And so now that's all we really have to do. 330 multiplied by 0.1, which super straightforward. What you're going to do is multiply like normal. 0 times 1, 3 times 1, 3 times 1. And then what you do at the end is bring your decimals back. So it's not 330, but 33. And there you go. Because we set up our formula properly, because we knew right away that the percent that we're plugging in is representing the answer that we want, we're done. No more second guessing. The answer is 33, and that's answer choice D. All right, in this next problem here, we are going to begin by reading that question sentence, and it says, what is the sale price? Okay. So before I read any of the information here up top, I understand sale price to be the amount that I pay at the end. So let's make sure we understand what we want to find always. Because if we're trying to find a tax or a discount versus the sale price, those are two completely different things. So again, we want the final amount, the sale price. Okay, great. So let's just make sure we label that as what we pay. Next, let's get the context. It says a desk chair originally costs $180 and is marked 25% off. Okay, so here's what most people would try to do here. Most people would try to immediately go and say, hey, 25%, That's the percent I'll multiply by. And I'll multiply by the original amount, which is 180. And here's the problem with doing that. Everyone, answer this question here. When I take a look at the 25%, everyone, what does the 25% represent according to the problem? 25% off. What does 25% off really mean? Yeah, that's a discount. So this 25% represents a discount. So let me mark that in green right there. The percent that we're plugging in, that is the discount. The main idea that we work with, everybody, is the percent that you plug in, the percent that you apply, is the result that you get. So that means that if I plug in the percent for the discount, I will get the amount of that discount. Answer this for me next, everybody. If I go ahead and plug in that 25% to get this amount, will this amount be correct? Once I'm done calculating whatever number this is, will that be correct? No, it will not. Because remember, we're looking for what we're paying at the end of the day, not the discount. We're looking for what we're paying. So to get what we're paying, everyone, don't forget how to get there. We will subtract. We would get the original amount, which is the 180, and we will subtract the discount right over here. We subtract that discount, and that's what gets us what we pay. We can handle it like that, or we can handle it another way, which I'll show you at the end. But here we go. If I handle it this way, knowing that I need to get to what I pay, we'll go ahead and move the decimal places over. 1, 2. And we have 0.25 multiplied by 180. And upon setting this up, 180.25. Let's go ahead and get after it. We have 0 times 5. 8 times 5, which is 40, carry the 4. 1 times 5 is 5, carry the 4 is 9. So we'll move up next here to the next line. 0 times 2, that is going to be 0. 8 times 2, that'll be 16, carry the 1. And then 1 times 2 is 2, carry the 1 is 3. So from there, we add everything back together. We have 0, 0, 15, carry the 1. And then we have 4. 4,500, but we'll bring back 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So that becomes $45. So everyone, this $45 is the, again, discount amount. This is not the correct final answer. The correct answer is not A. The reason is because, again, to get what we pay, we have to subtract that discount. So now I can get the final answer here. 180 minus the 45 that I have. This will be the right answer. So to start off, I will go ahead and borrow immediately. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. And then we drop that 1, and we have 135. That, my friends, is the amount that we pay. The correct answer here is going to be answer choice C. But before we move on, I want to show you, again, the other way that we can do this. Because remember, the way that these formulas work is all about consistency. So to get the correct answer in a much faster way, we can just plug in the correct percentage. The percent that represents what we pay, everybody, well, it's this. We start off with 100% because that represents the whole thing. You take away the 25% discount and you're left with 75%. That right there, again, is what you pay. Because if you plug in 75% and you multiply that, everybody, by 180, that's actually going to give you the correct final answer immediately. It's going to give you 135 right away. So there you are, everybody. That's one way or another way that it can work. But there are plenty of ways that you can get percentages done, especially a lot of mental math tricks that we didn't even go over yet here.